What is up? What is up, everybody? Welcome to Just the Betslips, where we promise you one thing and one thing only, and that is to bring you
The hot
The
tip.
hot tips
to help
to help
your bet
your
slip.
bet slips.
That's right, everybody. Welcome to the show. We've got a jam-packed, it's a Virginia takeover because it's all your
Yeah.
Virginia boys.
Let's go.
All your RVA fellas are in the house. Keldog's birthday, so we're going to sing happy birthday to him in a little bit. And Pat's out, and Tommy is doing Tommy things, but that's okay. We are in it to win it, and we cannot wait for a little Just the Bet Slips action. We've got NCAA tipping off in about 30-ish minutes. We've got baseball first pitches are in about 30-ish minutes, and we got some NBA that we are rocking tonight. But before we do anything like that, let's go ahead and make sure that we do not get sued, and that is through our disclaimer. First off, we are not professional gamblers. This show is for fun and entertainment purposes only. We'd love to be paid. So, and you know, if you are affiliated with a sports book and you'd like to join us, come on in. I'm in on it. Bring us in. Second, please gamble responsibly and at your own risk. Do not gamble more than you can afford and only bet what you can afford to lose. That is the easiest way to make sure that you are doing the right thing with gambling and making sure that you're not going over your head. But because we know gambling can be addictive, both all three, the ponies, sports books, and casino in general, because gambling is addictive. If you find yourself going down the quote unquote bad path of life, and you want to make sure that you are on the better things, please utilize 1-800-GAMBLER. It is the best way for you to get ahead of this addiction and get the help that you need if it gets there. Hopefully, you're following the fact that number one and number two are things, so that way it never gets to number three. But if it does get to number three, call it 1-800-GAMBLER. So review, we are not professional gamblers is number one. So please take this show for fun and entertainment as we hope it to be for you. Number two, please gamble responsibly and at your own risk. Do not gamble more than you can afford. And then number three, if it becomes a problem, please utilize 1-800-GAMBLER. That's it. That's it for that. Let's get into the bulk of the show. First off, Parker is here today, everybody.
Hey.
I know he's a small frequency guest. That's the word I'm looking for. But we always love it when he is here.
Thanks, bud.
So, Parker, thank you for coming. Parker, what do you have to say to the people today?
Well, first thing I noticed, I'm rocking a Braves jersey today.
Sure.
I'm sorry, CJ.
It's okay.
Robert, I know you like it.
Yes, sir. Go Braves.
Hey, even though yesterday was rough, but we won't get into that. We won't go down a rabbit hole.
Don't need to go down that rabbit hole now.
Yeah. So, yeah, unfortunately, it's work and sleep right now.
Sure.
So that's just the way that goes.
Yeah. Listen, it's the craziness of opening day that was yesterday. We'll get into that in a little bit too. What your bad beats were from yesterday. I have a couple, and everything. But first, before we do that, we got to get to Mr. Dinner, because you're gonna call him Butter because he on a roll.
Yeah.
Robert, you are doing some amazing things right now.
Yes, you are.
To talk to the people.
So look, I'm usually the guy who doesn't really celebrate my wins and I harp on my losses. I'm trying to turn over a new leaf here and start celebrating the fact that I'm plus, I don't even know what it is, like 13 units or something.
Like 14 and change.
Yeah, 14 and change. I'm trying to celebrate. Maybe I should just call myself like the Bizarro Kel, because I'm the opposite of him.
Captain Over Units.
Captain Over Units.
Yeah, I'm Captain Over Units. But I'm just I'm trying to celebrate the little wins because, as we know with gambling, we're not professionals. Therefore, we don't have as many months of the plus 20 as we do the minus fives. So we're going to take these when we can get them.
Absolutely. And I don't blame you whatsoever. Massive stuff here. Just the fact that we've got this show and it's so much fun. If you didn't listen to the podcast that dropped this morning at 6 a.m., do that. That was a lot of fun yesterday. Rob and I were literally in for like the first 20 minutes and then bailed. All right.
More than me.
Needless to say, it was a great time, and we discussed a lot of what we found the most luck in betting wise last year during baseball season, and we hit up what kind of needed to be done. So big fan of that, right? Big fan of how that's going down. But we've got this live show to talk about these games, and we've got some incredible games tonight. So let's just go ahead and dive on into the shenanigans here. But before we really dive into a lot, Tommy, even though he's never here, well, I shouldn't say never. That's a lie. And I'm sorry, blasphemy, hand up accountability.
We'll go with rarely here.
That's the word I was looking for. He is minimalist here regularly, but he usually always drops in some amazingness. And if you didn't check out Twitter earlier, he dropped in what he is calling his baseball scoops. And so we're going to go ahead and re-show that today. So welcome to the Betslips, Mr. Tommy Scoops.
Welcome. This is my polo segment for baseball, and I'm calling these baseball scoops. Baseball scoops. These are my bets. Baseball scoop bets. Let's go. All right. I'm going to put Junior Caminero with 2+ total bases. He's taking on the Rockies. Kyle Freeland on the mound, the lefty. Caminero had 29 plate appearances against lefties last season. He was hitting .386 with an OPS north of 800. They are playing at Steinbrenner Field. It's their opening game. I like Junior Caminero. He was very impressive last season. Give me 2+ total. Dylan Cease, over 5.5 strikeouts. In 33 starts last season, he hit the over on this 20 times. He was in the 89th percentile for strikeout rate. He had north of 200 strikeouts. He's a strikeout machine, has a nose for the zone. Give me Dylan Cease, over 5.5. Taking on a Braves lineup that's going to be better. They're going to be better today. But I like Dylan Cease in this matchup. Give me Tanner Houck over 4.5. Give me 5 strikeouts for Tanner Houck. He had a rough spring training. He is my ace. He was last year. He pitched like one last year. I love Tanner Houck. I believe in Tanner Houck. I think he can do it. I think he can at least hit 5 today against a Texas Rangers lineup. And last but not least, give me the Arizona Diamondbacks money line. Should bounce back against the Cubbies. They did not look good yesterday. But you know what? It's a long series. I dig it. So I like it. Merrill Kelly on the mound for a bounce back. Let's go. Let's have a day.
First off, I want to say one thing. I think that man's rocking knockarounds, and if he is, kudos on the shade game because they're fuego. And yeah, I mean, just bringing the fire elsewhere too. Love the Cease pick. I didn't want to touch that Atlanta Braves game as far as who's going to win. So they're off the PD train for me.
I do want to say from his lips to God's ears that the Braves are going to be better today, because
yes.
I can't have 2 games in a row to start the season like this.
Yeah, I can't either.
So just remember the year that the Phillies went to the World Series, they got swept in their opening series by Texas.
I will say the Braves historically have not been great lately on opening day either. So I'm not going to let that sway me, because the year they won the World Series, I'm pretty sure they lost like the first 3 games of the year. So
I will say it was interesting. Okay, so we're starting against the Padres, then we're playing the Dodgers next. The next time, I mean, the last time that we started with the Padres on opening day, and then the Dodgers was 1994, and of course it was a strike-shortened season. But I mean, they had a pretty good year, so let's hope and actually finish the season.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what really comes of it, but yeah, I mean, listen, Tommy spitting facts. That game's just a tough road to hoe if you really want to go about it. But man, I don't know how I truly feel about it.
I do like his Junior Caminero 2+ bases.
That's also a very good pick. I'm trying to remember the website I mainly used last year, and it's like, is it Baseball Savant maybe? I think that's what I used. Yeah. Yes, that's exactly what it is.
You did use
Baseball Savant, and I used it to make my performance doubles picks, and like I just looked at what the pitcher has done versus those guys. And what I did was I mainly looked at just probable starters, like, you know, like let's see here, Charlie Morton
Ground ball
versus
Chuck.
the current Toronto Blue Jays roster. You know, he's got a 23% K percentage, right? So like
Yeah.
if he goes through the order, let's just say he goes through 5 innings, right? You're expecting him at that point to get 4 Ks at least.
Yeah.
If he's striking out these guys. Yeah, so like they're that. I mean, you got Mitch Keller, who you're going to see him in a little bit here. And now, granted, it's only 11 plate appearances, but he's striking them out at 1/3 of the rate, right? So
Yeah.
massive. So yeah, like I'm digging it a lot, and we'll get there. But I just realized it wasn't actually up on the screen for everybody. Whoops! There we go. Yeah, Baseball Savant. I use this a lot. And like Hunter Brown's probably gonna have a really good game tonight because look what he does against the current roster. And that's 27 plate appearances. So that's actually a decent number. He's got 9 Ks over 27 plate appearances. So
Yeah, I need to start using that when I'm doing my baseball bets. I didn't even know that
Baseball
existed.
Savant's legit. I'm a big fan of Baseball Savant, but I kind of just gilded the lily here and dropped into the cutest parlay of all sports. I forgot to remove it before I hit over. That happens. It happens to the best of us. And yes, Tommy did say he was wearing Knox, like 30 pair, dude. And I'm not lying when I say I have 30 pair. Robert knows. He's seen all of them.
It's true. I've seen.
Yeah, and Parker definitely knows. He's like in my house watching them.
I mean,
you got some of these.
You got me.
I got you hooked.
Yeah,
on too.
I got like a dozen.
I got a bunch. So anyway,
apparently I need to get on this bus because I don't think I have any.
Dude, you got me on the knock around, dude. I had 31 pair. I gave Bob one.
You sure? Yep. I need to get on these.
Yeah, dude, knock around, dude. It's
underrated.
Great. No free ads. Knock around if you're watching. We'd love to get sponsored.
Yeah,
literally, like knock
and
around.
And Viagra, if you're out there, I'm 42, and I could use Viagra. So if you're out there, we'll take your sponsor too.
Right, exactly.
Pat will wear a bathrobe and do a commercial for you. Like we're here for you.
Yeah, we're in. Yeah. Don't you want to stay here a little while? Right. Anyway. Yeah, now that I'm in, we're knockaround.com and we're hitting up no free ads, but knockaround.com buy the best sunglasses ever, knockaround.com. Anyway, we're into the underdog slate, and let's go ahead and talk about them. Robert, you are Juan Soto 2+ total bases.
Yeah, so look, this is more of a vibe pick for me. I saw his game yesterday. He did just get something like $800 million, and he was catching a lot of heat on social media yesterday for a not so good game. I feel this is going to be a huge game for Juan Soto, and that's hard coming from a Braves fan. But I feel like he's probably going to have. I almost bet this huge to go crazy, but I feel like he's going to have like 4 total bases in this game, to be completely real with you. So I feel really good about 2. So. I want to play safe because we want to hit this underdog, but
I'm with you. I'm a big fan of that underdog. And again, knock around. Don't at me. Yeah, I love the Juan Soto pick. Parker, you had the Michigan 8+, right?
Yeah, I mean, Michigan's. I mean, yes, they're in the tournament, but they've been kind of up and down. Like you can't be completely like safe with them, but yeah, I think +8. I think +8.5. I think that is fair for them tonight for sure.
And they play tight games too. I don't see.
Oh yeah, they're not gonna blow anyone out or get blown out.
Yeah, or get blown out. So I think this line's a little too big. That's my personal opinion. I'm with you there. Another one that I just don't think they're going to get blown out is the Nets. Man, they've been playing really good basketball as of late, and they're trying to make things happen. I don't think they get blown out by the Clippers tonight at home. I just don't. And 13 is a big number.
Yeah.
Do I think the Clippers are a better squad? Absolutely. Do I think the Clippers are going to win? Absolutely. But the Nets have been shocking some teams out there that you're like, wow, really? Are they good? No, they're good, but they're not like, oh my God, good. I'm gonna pull up their last like a handful of games, and we're gonna go through. I mean, they were trash early. To be very clear, they were not good early. But
Yeah.
their last couple of games, well, they got blown out by Toronto, got blown out by Dallas. All right, maybe I'm a liar. No, but like they played Indiana twice, really, really tight. They played Boston. They only lost by 8. They beat Atlanta. Then they lose by 2 to Boston. Like these are good teams that they're coming close with.
Yeah.
And so, I'm just looking at LA.
They're competitive.
Correct. At home with LA, if I think it's Cam Johnson, I think is their top scorer. If tonight, which is possible. Keon Johnson, excuse me. And then Cameron Johnson. Yeah, okay, so I was right. If these guys play, which I think they're playing because I don't see an injury designation for them.
D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, like they should be able to get the job done. So yeah, I'm in on Brooklyn covering tonight. That's
and honestly, those last two you just mentioned that they got blown out in, that's the only reason we're getting this number. And I think that's recency bias that Vegas is using, which is going to benefit us because before that, there was several more games going the other direction.
right.
So I still feel good about this, even with those two up there. And
Absolutely.
honestly, this is a number you would expect to see against the Cavs, not
not
in this game.
Even though the Clippers have been playing really good basketball as of late.
Yeah,
Sure,
they're a solid
but
team, but they're not.
They're not the Cavs. I mean,
they're not. No, that's true. That's true. True statement. Truer statements have not been said. And you're getting this at plus 783. And remember, for the underdog slate listeners out there, this bet is the max amount of bets we're allowed to have on an underdog slate. Now, we have made a sweeping decree that we are not allowed to have more than 3 legs in an underdog slate from now on. So we maxed out the underdog slate tonight. Give me plus 783 tonight if you're rocking on the underdog slate for my dog and for this guy's birthday right here. Only 28 years ago, this picture was taken. And I'm kidding. He's not that old.
I'll say, is he even that old?
No, he is. He turned 31 today. Should we sing him happy birthday right now?
Such a baby.
Such a baby.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kel Dog. Happy birthday to Aru.
Aru. That's good.
Shout out to Kel's mom.
Yeah, the best mom in all of Sports GPS. I mean, of the Just the Betslips. Sports GPS belongs to Parker.
Yeah,
Mama White's the goat. But Mama Sherman is the goat for Just the Betslips. We love Mama Sherman. She even sends us in bets because she's
awesome.
She's a true G.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. The rest of it, and it is my segment. That's right. It's the performer doubles of the day, baby. That's right. Each one of these fellas brought in one, and then I roped in 2 more on it. And we're gonna start with Rob. You like Tanner Houck 4+ Ks in Boston money line.
I will tell you that Tommy made me feel even better about this because he's got him at 5 Ks. He's averaging 5. I went 4 because we're still getting pretty good odds on 4, and I didn't want to get the hook on this one. I feel like 4 is the safest number, and I really I don't think Boston's losing today. I really don't. I think Tanner Houck is going to be dealing today, and those bats are going to be alive. I did laugh when I saw a clip the other day about a month ago of Devers where they were asking that man if he was going to play DH, and he's like, no, I'm a third baseman. And then like a month later, they're like, he's a DH.
Yeah, DH all year.
But I actually like that for him. I like that for him.
Accepting.
He's gonna be more rested. He's not gonna be tired. He's gonna be able to focus on hitting. I like that for him, and I like that to help out this team. So.
I do as well. I think Boston gets the dub. Yesterday, I had Jalen Duran to get a hit and Boston to get the W, and they pulled that off for me. So I was really happy with that. So big fan of this one as well. Not a problem. Parker, what do you have today?
All right. Yes, the Orioles offense yesterday was awesome, but I think the Blue Jays are going to rebound. And my boy Kevin Gausman, or the way Christopher Mad Dog Russe says, Kevin Gausman, I think he's going to get you 5+ Ks. It's a young offense. I think he can take advantage of the youth on that team.
The Utes.
What's a Ute anyway?
The Utes.
But yeah, I mean, I think the Blue Jays are gonna rebound. I think they're Blue Jays money line and Kevin Gosman's gonna lead the way with 5+ Ks.
I can't. I actually almost bet this myself and decided against it when Parker was like, "I'm going to bet it," and I'm like, "Okay, I don't need to bet it now." But yeah, I was a big fan of the Kevin Gosman and Blue Jays. I think if I remember correctly, Baseball Savant had Gosman with a pretty decent look as far as Ks. Well, versus the roster, not as great, 18-1, but he's also faced this lineup 149 times. So he's well aware of this lineup and how to get it out. So
Right.
hopefully he can recapture the greatness that is. I'm going to go with my two, Merrill Kelly, 4+ Ks this evening, and a W of the D-backs over the Cubs. Yes, I know, Keldog, this hurts you to say, but Merrill Kelly has an expected weighted on-base average against this lineup as 200 or 0.255, which is good. Anything underneath 3 is what you're looking for.
Right.
His average exit velo against this lineup is 83.5 miles an hour. Anytime you have anything under 85 as the average exit velo, that is very good for a pitcher. He struck out this lineup at a 23.5% clip, and he does not walk this lineup either, which means he's going to have less traffic on the bases, which means he goes longer in this game, which gives him a better chance to get the 4+ Ks. Give me 4+ Ks and the Diamondbacks to get the W tonight at Chase Field. If you like the over in this game, I also don't hate that either. The line's 9, and Arizona was the most likely team percentage-wise to hit their overs last year. Just throwing that out there as well. They had the best offense in the game. I think Jameson Taillon might have a little trouble with this lineup as well. So give me Merrill Kelly, 4+ Ks, and the Diamondbacks win. And then last but not least, we talked about it earlier. I'm a big fan of Mitch Keller tonight. I think him versus this Miami Marlins lineup is a good thing.
Yeah.
I think he gets the job done tonight. He is striking out this lineup at a 36.4% clip, and his expected weighted on-base average is 0.184. And remember what I just said a little bit ago, anything underneath 0.3 is great. He is under 0.2. He is a lights out, and his average exit velo against these guys is 79.6. Yeah, just massive. Expected slugging percentage is underneath 2 as well. Like, this guy is on just fire. Just absolute fuego against this roster. So give me Mitch Keller to have a game tonight and the Pirates to bounce back versus this Marlins team, who for some odd reason loves to play at home at Lone Depot Park.
Yeah.
But hopefully the Pirates get the job done today because they weren't able to do it for Paul Skeens yesterday. So that is that. The performance doubles of the day brought to you by the PD King himself. How are we feeling about these fellas? We're on the winning side of life with performance doubles of the day, so we need to keep that rolling. And hopefully we get it done.
I definitely feel good about Tanner Houck 4+ Ks.
I do as well. I really like yours, Rob.
Yeah.
I will tell you, if you're trying to get some big odds, I don't know what something's speaking to me right now at the moment. I'm not putting it out there for a performance double, but I keep the Blue Jays money line and throw in a Vladdy home run.
Whoa.
Because I don't know why I'm feeling Vladdy going deep today, but it's
the
kind
only
of
reason
sticky to me.
the only reason I don't love it is because ground ball chuckles.
Yeah.
And literally everything he throws goes down. But if he leaves one,
he hangs it up,
if he leaves it down and in,
you hang him, he bangs them.
That's true. And but down and into that's the nitro zone to a lefty.
I'm just saying there's a chance. If you're looking for bigger odds, if you're the guy who's chasing bigger odds, that's the one to go for.
I mean, listen, dude. I mean, you got to do you. Got to do you. But that is the
because if you're like our friend Chris, he only bets it if it's like plus 900. So if you're one of those guys, one of those guys that likes to swing for the fences,
one of those sick cats. I gave him a bet that was plus 840, and he was mad that I couldn't get it over 900, and it hit. And then he added something that made it over 900 that missed. And I was like, "I'm sorry, dog. You had 8-1, but you decided not to."
He's done that to me 4 times. I gave him a plus 750 4 times, and he added 2 more to it and lost because he added the 2 that he added. Yeah. I said, "Why are you asking me for picks if you're going to alter them?"
Yeah,
right.
Well, it was funny because I told him the one day I was like, I'm just going to put all of these spreads. We were golfing that day, and I was like, I'm going to throw all these spreads as individual bets. He's like, fuck it, I'm parlaying it, and he puts them all in. Excuse my French, sorry, we're a family friendly show. F it, I'm going to put them all in a parlay, and it hit, and he was like, yeah, I love it, and I'm like, all right, dude, like calm down. I got lucky that I had a 3-0 day.
Yeah, like 3 nights ago when I hit my parlay and I hit I basically clean sweep the show. I always do a parlay with my 750 club and my underdog together, and then I do my parlay. He put all of that together, and it was like it was like 1,080 to win plus 1,080, and it was down to the last thing, and it was Duke covering like 12 and a half or something, and he was scared. I said, dude, they're going to win by 25. So he takes a $70 cash out instead of the 120 by letting it ride, because the game got kind of close, and then they ended up winning by 25, like I said. And he still got $75, which is more than I got because I bet them separate. Right. But that's it. I was like, why are you trying to get the plus 1,000 if you're going to take a plus 750 on a cash out?
I mean, maybe that's the reason why, because he's trying to take that cash out, dog. You know, guaranteed juice.
Yeah.
He did say he almost never rides bets out, so maybe that's the case.
Maybe that's it. Huh. Maybe that's the winning formula. You never know.
And on the reverse side, I almost ride every bet. So
yeah, that's me too. I ride it to a fault, and I'm like, man, I should take the cash out right here and just like gain $2 on this, and then I'm like, but I could have $90 if I let it ride.
I know a couple of times you've asked me, like, should I cash out? I go, CJ, like, you should cash out. And he's like, nah, I'm riding.
Nah, F it. Yeah. It's only $10.
Yeah, you always say that. It's like, I only put,
that's my mindset. That's my mindset. I was like, if I didn't bet like 50, then I'm not that worried about it. Like, it's okay.
That's a very valid point. It's a very valid point. It's all about what I'm able to do on the corner for 5 minutes to get that money back is really the question.
$20 is $20, dog. $20 is $20.
Just remember, everybody, I do need to call 1-800-GAMBLER to be very clear.
I will never call that number because that number is for quitters.
However, if it has become a problem for you, please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Then you need to quit. So that number is free too.
Correct. All right, let's get into the most talked about parlay in all of sports betting, and that is the 750 Club. We've got an incredible one for you today, and it's pretty much all March Madness with a little baseball sprinkled in here. But we got the 750 Club. There is one rule of Fight Club, and that is you do not talk about Fight Club. Parker, what is the one rule of the 750 Club?
You talk about the 750 Club a lot.
Tell everybody. You tell everybody but Paul Rudd. That's the only person you do not tell about the 750 Club. Eventually, I'm going to pull that clip up, and we're gonna show the how about Tito Ortiz?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I told him this morning.
As much as you reference it, I think we do need to clip every now and then.
Yeah,
we do.
I think that's fair.
We should be tagging Paul Rudd, whatever his Twitter handle is. We need to be tagging him we need to get him on the show. It's really the case.
Could you imagine if he shared us on his Twitter? We'd be bigger than Pat McAfee.
Now calm down. Pat McAfee is much larger than that.
Look, Pat McAfee is a GOAT, okay? But you know what? I could be a GOAT too.
That's true. We could all be goats.
Right now, I am just a guy under a bridge, but I could be a goat.
It's true. It's true. It's true. We are the
trolls. Is Pat McAfee plus 14 this month?
That is a question.
Yeah.
Is he up 14 units? We don't know.
I think he's too busy announcing wrestling.
Bigger than our units, so that's a thing as well. So
he's taking $15,000 bets off of Peyton Manning on roulette. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, he's the type of guy that would show up next to Dana White in a casino and be like, yeah, double that. Here, I'll give you the action. Just a double for $100,000, whatever the heck Dana White plays. He's absolute savage. Anyway, but let's get into the 750 Club, the most talked about parlay in all of sports, and it's Shohei Ohtani 2+ bases, and then we are taking all of the favorites tonight: Tennessee money line, Auburn money line, and the over. Houston money line and Michigan State money line. All the favorites tonight. We're riding it. We're going in, and then we're taking that over. But Rob, you have the Shohei 2+ bases, and you actually talked about this on the podcast. How it's one of your favorite bets.
I did this. So if you do, I'm not a mathematician, okay, but I can get you in the ballpark. He hit 99 extra bases last year between doubles, home runs, and triples. He had 614 at bats. If you factor in he has 4 to 5 at bats per game, that's somewhere around 1.2 total extra bases per game. That's not including singles. So you factor that in, we're now looking at almost every game he was hitting this on average.
Mm-hmm.
The guy does nothing but hit for power and find gaps. You could almost, I think you could lock this every day, and even with the losses, you would still probably be up 20 or 30 units. So I feel good about him. I rocked this a lot last year, and I made a lot off of it. Him and Aaron Judge to me are the top two for that. But I like Shohei by far the most.
I'm trying to pull up his total bases. He had 411 total bases last year.
He already has 12.
I mean, he already has 12 this year because he's hit 2 dingers because they had the Japan series.
Right.
Yeah, his slugging percentage. Dude, his OPS is 1.5. Get out of here with this.
Yeah, it's insane. Like,
but yeah, his total bases is 411. And if you take 411 divided by 162, yeah, you're right there. You're like 2.
Yeah, it's in that. Yeah, it's in that range. So it's like, and honestly, this is what I'm about to say is going to piss a lot of people off. Okay, and especially Yankees fans. But comparing Shohei Ohtani to Babe Ruth to me is disrespectful to Shohei Ohtani.
I agree.
I said what I said. Shohei Ohtani is a guy that we've never seen.
Yeah,
I get the somewhat comparison because they both hit for power and they both pitched. However, Shohei is a better hitter and a better pitcher than Babe Ruth ever was. So
yeah,
and Babe Ruth never pitched while he hit.
Yeah,
right.
Like it was separate.
So now I get Shohei's hurt and he probably won't pitch this year either. And if he does, it won't be much. But when he's healthy, that dude is an ace along with a power hitter. Like it's insane.
The man didn't pitch last year and he had a WAR of over 9.
Yeah.
Yes, it's insane.
Like the man's just straight up GOAT territory.
He had 59 steals last year.
He is baseball's equivalent to LeBron James. And I've said this because he will always, no matter what, be in the MVP conversation every year.
Correct.
That's facts. Yeah.
And LeBron, as much as we like him or hate him, is always in the MVP conversation every year. So he is baseball's version of LeBron. He will always be in the MVP conversation. Even on a down year, he will be in the MVP conversation.
Yeah.
There's no way he's not. So, yes, that's where he's at. Shohei, 2+ total bases. And we like the Auburn over just because we think it's going to be a shootout. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Them in Michigan, right? I think that's
the
game.
Yep.
And it's going to be a shootout. There's no way it's not. I really
let's be real. I think Auburn drops 90 tonight, which means we only need 65 from Michigan. And if you don't think this game,
and you'd be one game away from having an Auburn jersey.
Well, you know what? I'm picking Auburn and I'm riding Auburn, but I don't think they can win past this stage anyway, so I don't care.
Yeah.
This is kind of where I thought they were going to get.
Yeah.
If they didn't blow it in that last game, which I thought was a possibility, and they tried to blow it.
They did. I knew that.
I figured even if they got past all of those landmines, when they got to the Elite Eight, it was going to be too good a company for them to get past. So I'm not worried about it. They could win all day long. I'm good with that. They're not getting past the Elite Eight after this, so it's all good.
Yeah.
If you're an Auburn fan, roll Tide.
This is Robert. If the game on Sunday when Auburn's in it and Sparty's not looking good in the first quarter, he's gonna be tight, dog. I have a needle, fam. He's gonna be like, I don't know. Just saying, just throwing it out there. Plus 1162 tonight. If you riding the 750 club with us, we would love you too, and hopefully we get the first 750 club W of this month. That'd be massive for us. We've been missing it bad. So, but now we have reached that point in time in the broadcast here. and we're getting close to games, first pitches. We're getting close to some of the other stuff, so we're going to rapid fire this bad boy. But it is green. It is soft. It is plushy. It is the tabletop. There it is. Robert filling in for the birthday boy there with the little over deal. Love every second of it. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Robert, you are first, my guy.
Yeah, so we're just taking 3 teams in the over, but it's a massive parlay today. We got Auburn money line over. We just talked about that. We feel like Auburn's getting this win. We feel like the over is coming. I actually think it's probably going to be over, considerably over, to be honest. Michigan State money line and the over. Michigan State. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but in March Madness they've been averaging in the 80s, I think, or high seven. I think 78 or 80.
I can look at it.
If they get that number, then this over should be easy. And for is it? Yeah, I'll let you look it up. I'll go to Houston while you look that one up. But Houston money line and the over. Houston is top 5, I think, in scoring offense. They put up a lot of points. This game is, I think that's that might be the 119.5 I looked at. One of these is 119.5, and I don't remember which one it is. But I feel like all of these are gonna. I feel pretty good about all these winning, and I love the overs on all these. And as of late, we talked about this earlier. The overs have been hitting hardcore lately because you have all these teams that have to put up a lot of threes to compete with some of these higher seed teams. And the higher seed teams, vice versa, are putting them up, kind of like Alabama throwing up like some 55 or something like last night, and breaking the NCAA record for March Madness game for most threes made, I believe it was. So, shout out Roll Tide.
Michigan State put up 71 in their first game, but they didn't really have to do anything because they were facing a terrible team. And then their second game, they put up 87. So between
that's what it was.
Both of their games so far, they're averaging 79.
Yeah, so 78 and 80 is kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah. So if they get to 80, all Ole Miss needs to do is 65, and you hit the over. So I'm with you.
Yeah. So if the teams that we think are going to win and do well do what they're supposed to do, these overs should hit easily. The only way they don't is if they shoot somewhere in a 30% range, and if they do that, they may not win the game anyway. So let's be.
It's a very valid point.
Yeah. Now let's be honest. I understand this is a lot longer shot than the ones I usually give. I usually give 200 to 300, and we've been hitting a lot of those. But I feel like we're up 14 units. If I can get a 13-1 shot, and I feel as good about the 13-1 shot as I do in this one, I'm taking it all day because the odds versus the risk versus reward. The risk is so much better than the risk is so much lower than the reward is high. So I feel really good about this one, and I love the odds that we got on this. And if we hit this, it's going to be like the most elite month ever for my units. I'm not going to lie.
Well, it's going to be that, and Pat's going to be so jealous because Mr. 60% won't even get close. It's just going to be outrageous. He's just going to be like, I can't compete with this guy. It's impossible. I guess I'm going to have to say Jordan's the greatest of all time. Look, eventually that's going to happen. It's going to happen.
I mean, or maybe not make 10 bets, but
There's that. RG 2.0 Parker, what do you got for us?
All right, I already said that I got Gosman 5+ Ks and Blue Jays money line. I think Baltimore, your offense is good, but Gosman's he's gonna control it. I also have Auburn money line. Look, they're number 1 seed for a reason. I'm not the biggest Michigan believer, so give me Auburn. Kentucky money line. I know amongst us, I'm the only Kentucky guy. I just think it's a veteran squad. I like their head coach, Mark Pope, and I think they're going to get it done. And I'm not a Tennessee guy.
And Tennessee is slightly fraudulent, so I understand where you're going. But
and Houston, look, for Purdue to even compete in this game, they're going to have to jack up 3. So I think over 133.5. I think that's going to be clear. That's going to happen.
Houston's putting up 75 themselves. So
yeah,
right. Yeah, see, that's where I'm at with these.
Yeah,
and then I got Cleveland, Detroit under 232. I just think that number is way too high. Not that they can't do it, but is Detroit really gonna put? I mean, Kate Cunningham's really good, but I just don't think. I don't think they're gonna.
Dude, they got Tobias Harris, dog.
I should have remembered. They got Tobias.
Bet the under.
Yeah,
I made so much money.
You did.
Tobias is like second to last year in Philly. Just betting Tobias Harris unders.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know what's ironic about that is the last 2 times I've bet Tobias Harris, I've picked him to get 15 points, and both times he got 14. And then CJ keeps telling me how much money he made betting the under, and
Uh-huh.
here I am taking L's because I just see a guy that statistically should be doing it, not realizing he just never meets his statistics.
Legitimately, that last year, his under, like, let's just say his under was at like 16 and a half. I would bump it to an alt 18 and a half, and it was like a guaranteed lock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can attest. I can attest.
So I
It
would
was
say
crazy,
trust CJ when he says take the under on
Especially when I
Tobias
talk
Harris.
about Tobias Harris.
Tobias Harris for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Toby.
Not Toby.
You only have to know one thing. You have to know one thing and one thing only. That Jimmy Butler went, you picked Tobias Harris over me?
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
I was the 30% of Sixers fans that were pissed that Elton Brand did that. Anyway, let's go into mine. I've got a 3x20 tonight. So I've got 3 guys to get 20 points. So 3x20. I'm taking Leonard at 20 plus points. I got Durant 20 plus points, and I got Jokic 20 plus points. These guys could probably easily go for 30, but you're getting this at minus 107. And you're fading a little bit on the points, but hey, I would rather take a basic even money bet that I'm pretty much guaranteed to smack, than risk it for the biscuit going for 30 and going for like 400 units, or a 4-to-1 shot, a plus 400 bet. I'd rather take the even money any day of the week.
Mhm.
If you could sit there, and Robert, you can attest to this too. We would go to the bowling alley. If we went to the bowling alley on Tuesday night, and Tuesday night's a weird point thing, but if you sat there and told me before we even threw a ball and said, hey, listen, you want to split tonight between me and you, and then we could just go to the bar and start drinking, do you think guaranteed you're going to go, absolutely, I'll split with you, handshake, and we go to the bar? Like, that's a guarantee. So I'll take the even money over the 4-to-1 8 day of the week, especially when I don't have to sweat it out. Hopefully, because I've been sweating out, I've been so dehydrated because I've been sweating some stupid bets right now. But it's crazy.
In fairness, the last time you did this 3x20, you hit it, so
I did.
I'm not going to question it.
Yeah, it's a solid one. You got Durant, you got Leonard. Even though I already said that the Clippers aren't going to blow out the Nets, I still think Leonard gets his. So
right.
Why not? And then Jokic has been on a tear ever since he came back, so big fan of that.
When is he not?
Yeah, and then the 2 performance doubles I talked about earlier, I love them so much. I got them on the tabletop because I really feel good about them. So Merrill Kelly 4+ Ks, and the Diamondbacks win, and then Mitch Keller. I'm going MKs today. I'm going MKs.
Yeah, I just said that.
Yeah, going MKs and dubs, baby. Give me the
MK.
MKs. The MK dubs. What is there? It's MP5. That's the old military weapon. But yeah, the Navy special there. But give me the MKs and give me some dubs for some teams that everybody thought were going to be down in the dumps. That were down in the dumps like 5 years ago. Like, think about that for a second.
We're only game 2.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And both of them down. Did the Diamondbacks win their first game? I can't even remember.
I actually don't remember.
I don't know either. It's just trash. Well, good thing we have the internet.
In fairness, the D-backs are not a team that I think about very often.
No,
so,
Snakes alive though. Snakes alive. They lost versus the Cubs in game 1, so.
Well, the Cubs are projected to win that division.
500.
Yeah.
The Cubs are a good team.
Will win that.
I actually like the Diamondbacks, to be honest.
I like the Diamondbacks too, except for when they planted a flag on my field. Outside of that, I'm okay with the Diamondbacks. So, well, that wraps it up. Anybody got a last call before I show this record and we get the heck out of here?
No. So look, I tried not to say it, but I got to say it.
Say Drake.
Because as much as I hate Kentucky, right, and as much as I don't disagree with Tennessee being questionable, the only thing that's not questionable is Tennessee has one of the best defenses in the entire country.
Sure.
So Kentucky is going to have to outperform again by even more margin than they normally do to win this game.
Sure.
And partially, I don't have a bet one way or the other, so I am riding Kentucky, even though I don't like them. I think they were one of my pretenders, but Tennessee, I could see being a pretender. I'm the kind of the only guy on this team, this stream that even has been pushing Tennessee, even in the brackets, but mainly because of their defense. I just feel like if they play their defensive style, they could win. But we're gonna put out the good vibes for Kentucky since Parker bet them.
Yeah, but we got Tennessee on the 750 club.
But I will.
Either way, we don't lose.
I will.
But we're getting what? 8-9. What are we getting? How many points is Kentucky getting? He bet the money line. Oh, he bet the money line.
Yeah,
he's an absolute savage. He can switch it and get the points.
And Kentucky did beat Tennessee by 5 back in January.
Was that in Kentucky though?
No, it was in Tennessee.
It was in Tennessee. It's good. Ziegler didn't play well. I remember that game.
And then Kentucky beat them at home
by
11.
Yeah, it's tough to win 3 times. It's tough to beat a team 3 times in a season.
That is fair.
And
that's the reason why I was okay with the Eagles losing to Washington, late in the regular season.
Yeah,
I knew we were going to face you guys in the playoffs, and then we just stopped on that. Sorry, did I open up a wound? Sorry.
No. I'm good. We outkicked our coverage last year, so I was very happy with what happened. We had no business being there.
I would like to point out when we started bowling this season on Tuesdays, I said if Jaden Daniels plays as well as we think he will, you're gonna get farther in the playoffs. And you're like, I don't want to hit it. I'm just hoping to get to the playoffs. I'm like, I'm telling you, you could make the ship.
I will tell you, by the time we got to the playoffs, I was believing we had a shot. It took me until then because I have PTSD as a Washington fan, and I've always said my whole life the worst thing you can give a Washington fan is hope.
Dog.
And I was not allowing myself to have hope.
Why do you think that I, as an Eagles fan, if anybody in the division could do well, and I talked about this with you, I said if the Eagles lose to Washington, I'll be rooting for Washington in the Super Bowl. Why? Because I want to keep the Lombardi in the NFC East. 1, and 2, because I know the plight of a Washington fan oh too well. At my father's funeral, I sat there and said that my father taught me how to win with humbleness and how to accept the agony of defeat with the Philadelphia Eagles. Like there is no team that knows how to steal defeat from the jaws of victory like the Philadelphia Eagles. Washington's a close second, but
I was going to say that might be one thing we might be able to compete with you in.
Just saying, it's close second. It's there. But that's going to wrap it up for today's show. We enjoyed it. Go watch whatever games you got out there. I'm going to go ahead and throw up the records. One person's loving the records on this show. The other 2, to tell you the truth, even though I'm down 12, I'm not down bad in units, so I'm okay with it.
I'm not either.
Yeah, I mean Parker's got a whopping 3 bills on there. Woo! And let's see what he gets. But yeah, that's going to wrap up the show for today. This has been just the Betslips, where we promise you one thing and one thing only: to provide you with the hot tips to help your
Betslips.
We don't know who's going to be on tomorrow, but we got a noon show tomorrow, so hopefully you can jump on in and enjoy us. But remember to responsibly chase that bag, and we will catch you next time live on Just the Betslips. Have a good one, guys.